Hey, black women. All right, so I really don't care about the few comments that people tried to put up to think that they were going to get my goat or push my buttons. That doesn't bother me. Like I said, I just deleted them. But I did find it necessary to just give full disclosure so that I don't have to do it in the future. I've decided to do things a different way so that there is no miscommunication or misunderstanding of my message whenever I try to give one. Okay, so when I put up the Erica Badu song today, right, is because of quite a few things, but ultimately, I really like her music. I can totally relate to her spirituality and her peace about herself, right? Because she is a Pisces like me. And even though I know you guys like to think that you know everything about Pisces, or you have these extremely negative opinions about our character, and you like to always go to the toxicity of things about who we are as people, and what you almost never seem to appreciate or acknowledge is our level of human appreciation and empathy, right? Like, we're a type of people where we really like we love quite hard, yet there's no level of love we can have with another person that will ever trump the love that we have for self, right? So that is the big difference between, I guess, like us and how we really are and how people try to perceive things, and why the little things that people do that would normally like bother other people, we're so very used to it because we understand. We have a very, and this is a true thing, like we have a real connection with Mother Earth and spirituality and just humanity, in a sense. Like, we don't we don't I'm trying to get the right words. Like, it's not just appreciate, but we don't take things for granted. Those, and I'm not saying every single Pisces, because there are different types of Pisces. The ones born in March, the ones born in February, the ones who have, we have a fish going in two different directions for a reason, right? And it has to do with, when you know about a lot of spiritual things in the world, it is the yin and the yang. It's the good and the evil. It is what makes the whole of everything and everyone in the universe, earth, etc., right? So those of us, the ones like me, her, that's something that we hold very dear to ourselves. And this is why, in my case, I can't speak for her, I'm overly empathetic to unnecessary abuses of black women also within society on a worldwide scale, because I do believe that I am a citizen of the world, and I believe in Renaissance education, Renaissance intervention. I believe in that, right? It's who I am. So when I put up the song Bag Lady, right? I really love that song. And it's about the words. It's about the fact that she has taken almost the entire history of black women and put it into 5 different characters on her song. So the song is what I put up, the song on the community page for the lyrics, for what it stands for, and the fact that she was able to put not only the history of us as women into this one song, but the mentality, the burdens, You need help?
Thank you.
You're welcome. So, the burdens, right? The mentality, the hardships, how we tend to chameleon ourselves to survive, the dysfunction that we create and believe in our minds we have to live in order to survive. Hold on. So, sorry, I had to stop a couple of times because I'm actually sitting in the rain because I love nature, right? So I was saw that it was about the rain, and rain is good for taking down the pollen count, making my chest feel better, making me able to process the nitrous oxide in my body that I need to get the blood flowing through my body the way it should so that my cells open up properly. So I want to come out and sit in this and take it in because this is good for me. It's actually good for you too, but since I had the time, I figure I sit and take it in. There's also tall grass by me, so that's also giving me different things that I need. And this is part of like what I'm saying is who we are. So when she put this song together, you don't usually take the time to think about it simply because too many of us get caught up in the cooning, the code switching, the assimilating into becoming something that we're not, liking to be like the devil. And when I say that, I mean in terms of what white people do in this world, to the devastation, the catastrophic events that they have a hand in at all times. You become too much like them. You have no, you throw away race pride, you throw away sisterhood, you like to engage in self-hatred and group hatred, race hatred. I'm not about any of that. Never have, never will. And even though I have been a victim of it backfiring on me, I'll never change because it's true to who I am. So in that song, when she's speaking about the different types of black women in that song, in reference to when she talks about the different type of bag ladies in particular, it's about the mentalities. So the characters in that song, right? I think I'm gonna try to remember them. It was 5 of them in the video, like where she's like the paper bag lady, the nickel bag lady, the booty lady. So that's 3. Ooh, oh gosh, my memory is so bad. I only can remember 3, and I had just looked at it. Anyway, I can't remember the other 2, but what it comes down to is that all these things represent black women and their relationships with how they function dysfunctionally with black males in life, and how those relationships, not only with those males, but the interactions in the world, mold us and hurt us and make us wretched things. They make us these wretched things, and we, get so caught up in the everyday hustle and bustle that we tend to, forget that there's a real spirit inside there. There is a level of humanity inside there that you're supposed to work on. You're supposed to hone so that whenever you leave this material plane, and if you believe, as I do, another level of transcendence that we will go to, due to the metaphysical existence of energy, you need to be right. You need to be right in this world. When you're doing wicked shit and, the silly things like trying to antagonize me and other black women because it gives you a bit of an addictive thrill because you think you are harassing or bothering another person, it speaks to the wrongness inside your soul, the wrongness inside of you. So this song is very reflective. And if you're the type of person that can, like analyze things as people are trying to give you their version of teaching you how to level yourself or balance yourself out, neutralize yourself, get yourself to that calm place where you could sort of put things back into perspective and look at the world differently. That's what it's about. So when you're able to look at things differently and put yourself into proper perspective, you have less stress, you have less issues in this world that you deal with because you don't put yourself into those situations. And if more of us did that and more of us were like that, we would have a reduction or even the omission of black femicide, because it is the way we live individually that brings all of those monsters that you stare in the face of every day and all those demons into your life. Like, I mean, literally, because there are a lot of people in this world that are just fucked up, and they're fucked up, and you still engage them. So I find it like quite amazing in the song that part of the chorus is like her singing to black women, pack light, right? Travel light. Now this was something that I've noticed because I love music, right? And I'm a big historian when it comes to black women in music. Like, the thing that she's doing, I have heard in like many other black songstresses' music, starting from as old as music has been recorded, of black women trying to tell the story and teach other black women to be prepared, to always be ready and able to leave the bad situations just like that. Be able to recognize it and know that, you got to get away because it's harmful to you. I've heard this in the music of Bessie Smith. I've heard it in an actual song Billie Holiday recorded called Traveling Light. And she's talking about the same thing that Erykah is talking about, and several other women. I heard it in the Phyllis Hyman song. There's so many songs I've heard this in. And it is the preservation, and the whole traveling light part is about you recognizing where you have to get that inner strength. So there's several parts in the song where she talks about, like, when she starts singing about, girl, if you stop breathing, right, you won't believe it, and you're going to feel so much better, right? She's talking about believing the shit that is indoctrinated to you, about you, and for you in society. She's saying when you pull yourself back from that, how religious people say to be, I don't remember exactly how it says, but it's something like to be of the world but not part of the world. So just because you are a member of it doesn't mean you have to be absorbed in the nonsense and the indoctrination and the stupidity of it all. And then when she says, you'll breathe and you'll feel so much better, she's talking about reclaiming yourself, making yourself important, centering yourself and only yourself. And then ultimately she culminates it by saying, didn't anybody ever tell you you were all you needed? So that whole thing of, her talking about, I bet you love can make it better. Didn't anybody ever tell you that you were all you need? It's self-love, black women. It's centering yourself. It is putting down all of those taught shields where you feel like you always got to be in battle against another black woman for whatever it is, this man, this job, this, that taught level of competition that breeds the hate among us. That needs to stop. Because believe it or not, and this is historical to us, when we come together, love each other, we get so much more progress made than hating on each other and trying to compete with each other. So that was the whole reason why I put up the song. It has nothing to do with who she is, or what she stands for. It has everything to do with the message in the song. And in the future, what I'm going to do is I will literally write while I'm doing things so that there is no misunderstanding in the future. No misinformation, no misunderstanding. So you know what my intention clearly is, so I don't have the tomfoolery that I always get. Okay? Hello, Super. All right. Yeah, just chilling in the rain. I like it.
I love the rain.
Yeah, me too. Yeah, so, it's just, we got to love each other and we got to stop fighting over stupidity. And not just the fighting has to stop, but being accepting of hard truths is another thing. That seems to be an issue for us, but once you conquer that metaphysical challenge, you got no key? Do you have a key? ¿Tú necesitas llave? Okay, all right.
Thank you so much.
No problem. All right. I didn't think she spoke English. I thought, okay. So that the whole thing is listen. It's up to us. You either put your energies in towards healing us and making us better, or you put your energies into continuing to be an individual asshole. It's up to you, but that's the point of Bag Lady, because if you look at the video, you'll see the different versions of the black women she's talking about. And even though that is like, I believe, a 1990s song, it could be no truer, or probably more truer today, because you got the paper bag lady. That's your lady supposed to be chasing the bag, right? And then you got your booty lady, right? That's the black women that's so obsessed with ass and wanting to be ass pleasing for like disgusting, to me, revolting black males. And then what was the other lady she had? She had a paper bag lady, booty lady. Oh God, I forget. I would have to watch the video again, but they're all women that are created and bred out of the materialism and self-worthlessness that this society creates, because it's a capitalist society. And until you become like totally grounded in yourself and love and center yourself, you could see those things. You could even be involved in those things, but they will never become harmful to you, because you'll know how to balance them all out. That was the whole point. Nothing more, nothing less.